Hey, this is Nicole Kelly, host of Disarming Disability. Thanks for listening to the following show on Public House Media.
Hey, this is Lee.
And this is Chelsea.
And we are the host of your new favorite sales podcast, See Jane Sell.
Join us every Thursday for a new episode where we will tackle the realistic world of sales and maybe teach you a thing or two along the way.
You can subscribe to See Jane Sell on Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, iHeartRadio, CastBox, and Spotify. Thanks, and enjoy the following podcast on Public House Media.
If you want to feel good about who you are and the life you live, you need to make building your confidence and your self-belief a high priority. Hello, welcome to Choose to Rise. I am so honored and blessed and feel so grateful that you have chosen to push play today on today's podcast and join me here as we rise up together to live our best life. I just am so grateful for all of you who show up every Monday, Wednesday, Friday and are a part of this with me. And I'm super excited to not only be going here with you in the podcast and dropping this every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, but also uploading the video to YouTube as well. So you can find me on Instagram, on the video version, in IGTV, KJPMEYER. You can also find some more daily motivation there as well on my page, but you can also check this out and see who I am and what I'm all about here, as well as listening in on the podcast. So thank you so much for joining me again, and let's just dive right in, okay? So today, we're going to be talking about 8 promises that you can make to yourself, and I've recently discovered these books by Dominique, I'm going to butcher her last name, Dominique Bertucci. Obviously, I'm not great at that language. However, she has some beautiful content. And I'm going to be spending the most of the month of August kind of going through some of her books and just sharing with you personal development, because personal development has literally changed my life, drastically changed my life, in fact. And getting into personal development and changing up my mindset and changing up my heart set has really helped me become my best version of myself and help me rise up out of my current situation to live my best life. And you can always work on leveling up life. So today I want to share with you 8 promises that you can make to yourself, 8 simple little things that you can do to help build your confidence and to help you work through life in a great way. So these 8 promises are coming from The Daily Promise book. It's the green one. If you look her up, Dominique Bertucci, I think I'm going to say that one right. 100 Ways to Feel Happy About Your Life. And I'm going to pull things from this book as well as some of the others, like I said, over the next month or so here on the show. But I just wanted to bring some pieces to you today. So 8 promises that you can make to yourself. When you commit to these 8 promises, your life will no longer be burdened with anxiety, with doubt, insecurity, and instead you're going to feel good about the life that you live. Who doesn't want to live that way, right? And so we're going to rock and roll through these 8 promises today. So the first promise you can make to yourself is accept your imperfections. Accept your imperfections. We are all created as perfect beings by God, all right? We are all created as perfect individuals in His mind. We oftentimes give ourselves these imperfections. We oftentimes give ourselves these flaws because we feel like we are supposed to be like somebody else. We compare ourselves to other people and then all of a sudden think that there's something wrong with us when there's really not. There's no such thing as perfection, yet there's in the grand scheme of the worldly view of things, right? But in God's eyes, we are perfect in who we're supposed to be. And so many people get ourselves caught up in eroding our confidence in this pursuit of fitting into everyone's mold, of being who we're supposed to be for everyone else. When really, when you're going to find perfection is when you really focus in on what He wants you to be and where He has intended you to go in life. And when you can tap into that and love your positive qualities of yourself to the fullest, and maybe look at the things that maybe you're not so good at and maybe work on improving them, but really making sure that you are putting your you're putting your energy into positive things in your life and really taking yourself forward in the direction that God has created for you, because all the paths that we take in life are going to be difficult in some sort of way. But if we can focus in on some of the things that are going to be an easier path for us because they were made for us, that's when we're going to find more joy in our life. That's where we're going to find more fulfillment in our life. And that's where we're really going to understand that trying to be somebody else isn't going to be what God has intended for us. The second promise that you can have for yourself is always do your best. Always do your best. I always do my best, and my best is always good enough. That's an affirmation that you can have for yourself, that you can repeat to yourself every day. Your sense of self-worth will no longer be dependent on the outcomes of life if you really focus on who you are and what you are is enough and it's exactly what you need to be in this life. A lot of people have issues with I could be farther. I should be farther. I should have done this. I should have done that. And I was just telling a friend today, should on is not a good place to be. Should on is where you feel stuck, where you feel guilty, where you feel doubt and shame. And none of that is ever good for yourself, for your energy, or for where you want to go. So where you should be focusing on is how you are good enough. You're doing your best with what you have at the moment, and what you are working through right now will help you grow and be your absolute best as you continue to move forward. You are exactly where you're supposed to be in this moment, exactly learning what you're supposed to be learning and struggling through exactly what you need to struggle through in order to gain the strength to keep moving forward. The third promise I have for you is stop comparing yourself, okay? I have no need to see myself as more or less than anyone else. If you can own that affirmation and love who God made you to be, whatever that is, whether it is approved by other people, people in your family, people in your inner circle, people in your community, people wherever that might be, comparing yourself to others will always leave you feeling inadequate because you're not supposed to be measured by their measuring stick. Their measuring stick is for them. Measure you by who God made you to be, who He created you for, the mission He created you for in life. Stop comparing yourself to others. The only person you need to impress is yourself. The only person that you need to impress is God above. He created you for something. He's given you many talents. He wants you to go out and prosper. He wants you to use the gifts that He's given you and create more longevity and more peace and more blessings in this world, and to use your confidence that He's given you to grow and to help other people. The fourth promise that you have is to believe in your potential. Not only is worrying a big waste of energy, however, it also sends a clear message to your subconscious about the expectations in life. And when you are worrying about something, it means you have doubt. When you're worrying about something, it means you're letting fear into your heart and mind. And if you can push those things aside and let go of those things, not let your fears hold you back, you're able to put them aside and continue to work towards your happy and rewarding the future. You deserve all of those good things. You have great plans inside of you. You have great gifts inside of you. Go find them, go use them, and believe in the potential of great things for yourself. The fifth promise, we're getting there, right? Number 5, the fifth promise is silence your inner critic. Silence the inner critic. Those in that inner critic inside of you is the fear. It's the doubt. It's the devil talking and putting lies in your heart and mind. And when you can understand that you are the guardian of your self-esteem, you are the guardian of the gifts that God's given you. And when you protect those by staying away from the lies from that that the devil's going to put in your head, you can change up the way you think and the way you practice your thought patterns, and you can step away and say, not today, Satan, but you can be who you are supposed to be and love who you're supposed to be loved on. You're just going to go so much farther in life. So I would say stop comparing. I would say make sure that you believe in your potential and silence that inner critic. It's always going to be there, but you can say no to it and you can choose differently. Every day is a choice. It's one of the great things about being a human being is that we have free choice, but it's also one of the other things that is kind of a double-edged sword because we have the choice. And so you can choose joy, or you can choose to follow the lies and the deceit and all of the other things that come into our world. I hope that you choose joy. The sixth promise for you is to challenge yourself. Yes, challenge yourself. Push yourself outside your comfort zone. Go someplace. Do something big. Confidence and self-belief are like muscles. You need to exercise them if you want them to grow stronger. And when you can say to yourself, I am brave and I'm willing to step outside my comfort zone to go do great things, to go experience the things that I'm supposed to experience, to go fulfill the challenges that God's put in my life. You know, like David didn't say like, hey, I think I'm going to go slay a giant today, but he showed up in confidence and he showed up with a a challenge to himself to do the things that God created him for. He had everything he needed, and he showed up with confidence, and he slayed the giant next to him. When you challenge yourself, you're telling your self-conscious that, one, you believe in yourself, that you're destined to go forward and do something, but that you believe that you are capable of everything that you are wanting to do in this life. And that is powerful. Your confidence comes, it will get a boost. Your confidence will boost itself and will come from when discovering that you're not limited, that you don't have to be held back by other people's expectations, and you get to do the things that you are destined to do. The 7th promise for you, 7 out of 8, is stop making excuses. Yeah, stop making excuses. Fear, doubt, lies, shame, those are all going to be trying to creep in and become up all these excuses on why you can't have what you're supposed to have in life. But put them aside, put them away. Nobody is living a perfect life. We are broken people in a broken world. And when you want to step up and take responsibility for the things that God's put in you, and take action with those skills and those abilities that he's given you, that's when you're going to have so much more amazingness that happens in your life. The things that you're able to enjoy, the things that you're great about your life. You're able to live in gratitude. You're able to live in positivity. You're able to manifest more good in your world because you're tapping into the good of this life that God's created you for. And the 8th promise I have for you, number 8, is to love yourself. Okay? Love who God made you to be. That is the ultimate respect that you can give him and yourself. Always treat yourself with love and respect. If you want to feel good about who you are and the life you live, you need to make building your confidence and your self-belief a higher priority. Loving who you are is a magical thing that you can possibly do. I've listened to countless podcasts and countless episodes and countless mentors tell me over and over and over again that self-love is the place that you need to be at in order to create a better life for yourself. And it is so true. When you love yourself, you are ultimately loving God. When you're loving God, you're ultimately loving who he created. It's you. You are a creature of God. You are somebody that he's put here for a perfect mission, perfect life, perfect whatever. But we oftentimes break it all apart and ruin it because we're broken people in a broken world. So tap into loving who you are, who God's made you to be. Live your life out to the fullest and be happy and joyful in the moments that you have. Live out these 8 promises. Love yourself. Love yourself. Stop making excuses. Challenge yourself. Cut out the lies, silence the inner critic, believe your potential, stop comparing yourself to other people, and accept the imperfections of your life. We are broken people living in a broken world, but that does not mean that we have to stay broken. That means that we can continue to love and continue to grow and continue to build a life of joy and purpose and prosperity and love who God made us to be so we can love on others around us as well. Thank you again so much for joining me today. And I hope that you love these little 8 promises to yourself and that you start making these promises to yourself and start learning to love who God made you to be. And I hope that you continue to come back here in August as I'm going to kind of touch on some of these little things, these little promises, and how you can make them in your world and make them happen in your life. I'll give you an affirmation. We'll talk about how you can manifest these kinds of things into your world and how you can take action to live life in the very, very best way possible. So thank you so much again for joining today. I hope you follow me on Instagram at KJPMeyer. I hope that you connect with me at ChooseToRiseUp.com and make sure you hit subscribe and tell a friend about Choose to Rise. It helps us find more people. It helps us make a better impact on the world, and it helps just us know who loves Choose to Rise. Thanks so much for joining, and I hope to see you back here again next time.